He asked a question, what about ISIS? I don't know of any ISIS. I know anti-ISIS. Why are you calling them ISIS? I think there's a problem with you. You don't understand English? You are helping the kuffar. You are helping the enemies of Islam to malign Islam. Why is a Muslim man coming in the microphone? Millions are hearing all over the world that ISIS is killing innocent people. Who's to blame? You.
A Muslim questioner asked a simple question about terrorism. What followed became Zakir Naik's most controversial public response, and the deeper this exchange went, the more revealing it became. Now, the video that you have watched is part of a high-stakes debate featuring Zakir Naik, the most popular Islamic apologist on planet Earth, and a Muslim questioner who is a high school teacher, asking one of the most uncomfortable questions in modern Islam. Why do many terrorist groups claim Islamic justification for their violence? In this video, you are going to see Zakir Naik's response to that question. And did Zakir Naik spend more time defending Islam's image than direct confronting terrorism itself? The question you'll be able to answer yourself by the end of this video. Is Zakir Naik defending Islamic terrorism? Instead of directly confronting the issue, Zakir Naik shifted the blame, redirected attention, and even attacked the questioner himself. Tonight, we are breaking down the exact moment this debate spiraled into controversy.
My name is Abdullah Ahmad. I'm a high school teacher by profession, teaching Islamic studies. So my question is on misconception 1 and misconception 2 about terrorism and jihad. You see, let's call a spade a spade. We Muslims, there's a misconception that we support jihad and terrorism, yet it is not true. But the problem is when you look at those people who are terrorists or are considered as terrorists or consider themselves as jihadists, most of them are Muslims. The likes of ISIS, the likes of Boko Haram, the likes of Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, and more. So what is your pick or what is your say on that, kindly? Thank you.
If you enjoy deep dives that break through the deception and expose what is beneath, subscribe and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one. Because what happens next is not just a debate about terrorism. It's a debate about accountability, theology, and whether difficult questions are being avoided altogether. Let's look at deflection and minimization of Islamic terrorism. What happens when a direct question on Islamic terrorism never actually gets answered? Instead of confronting why extremist groups often quote Islamic text, Zakir Naik pivots to smoking deaths, alcohol statistics, and crimes committed by non-Muslims. This was not just defending Islam, but it was also an attempt to bury the question under comparisons. And once you see how the conversation was redirected, the entire debate changes. Let's watch the clip.
The brother asked a question that related to terrorism and jihad. He says that when we look around us, most of the people that are terrorists are Muslims, like ISIS, the likes of Boko Haram, etc. Brother, I've given the talk on is terrorism Muslim monopoly. This is what the media says. This is what the media says. If you go to the website of the American, how many attacks have they done? How many people have they killed? If you compare with the non-Muslim organization, have you heard of IRA? Irish Republican Army, IRA. Have you heard of it? No. Why? Because media hasn't publicized it. You Google, you will come to know what is IRA. There are so many terrorist organizations in Africa. Non-Muslims. But the media doesn't promote them.
Now, Zakir Naik is mentioning that there are a lot of terrorist organizations in Africa, but he doesn't name even one. That's the first. The second thing is that those terrorist organizations, are they related to religion or they are political terrorists?
So just they are killing in India. In India, there is a Maoist organization which kills thousands of people, kills Indian police every day. But media doesn't promote that because they're non-Muslims. They want to talk about Kashmir. They want to talk about Popular Front. They pick up the Muslims. This is the media. In that talk of mine, Is Terrorism Muslim Monopoly, I've given several examples. Who was the first person who did the hijack? Non-Muslim. Who was the first person who did suicide bombing? Tamil Tigers, non-Muslim. I will come to ISIS, don't worry. Anti-ISIS, I'll come to it. But let me give you the picture. Even if you agree, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, or anti-ISIS, or Boko Haram, they are nothing compared to the non-Muslim Tamilian Tigers, LTT, Maoist organization.
So does that make it right? Because there are other terrorist organizations.
They are killing in. One organization is killing all what the Muslims kill, one organization alone is killing. But the media doesn't promote that because they don't get vote bank. If they promote, then the government will go down. Oh, we cannot take control of these non-Muslim, our Indian people, so they don't want the media to know. Do you understand? So you as a Da'i should Google. Do you know how many terrorists in full world put together, full world, do you know in USA, after 9/11, inside job, hear my talk, done by the government, George Bush himself, inside job. After the 9/11, from 2001 till 2015, in 15 years, how many people were killed because of terrorist attack? Do you know? How many in USA? In USA, how many Americans were killed in 15 years because of terrorist attacks?
I don't know.
61. Less than 5 a year. In some year, in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2007, 2000. But yet, out of those people that were killed in USA, in 15 years, 15,000 people were killed. How many Muslims killed? Only 45, 0.3%. So Muslims were killed only 45 out of 15,000.
So does that make it right? And how many people have terrorist organizations like Boko Haram killed in Nigeria?
And the population of Muslims is 3%. That means the non-Muslims are killing 10 times more than the Muslims in America alone. Do you understand? This is the statistics of USA government, not my statistics. Google. In the last 10, 15 years, how many were killed? 15,000. How many Muslims killed Americans? 45 people were killed because of Muslims. So 0.3% of 15,000 is 45. The population of Muslim is 3%. So there should be 3, correct? That means non-Muslims are killing 10 times more than Muslims only in America. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no?
True, but...
Wait. What but? Let me finish my answer. I'm giving you an answer, you should be shocked, but this is the problem. I'm giving him information that Muslims are not killing, he's saying but.
The problem is that you asked him a question and he wanted to respond. And because Zakir Naik is afraid of the response, he shuts him down.
He's so much impressed with the media, mashallah. Let me complete the answer. Let me complete the answer. Let me complete the answer. You don't understand English?
I do.
Yes, but let me complete the answer. I have not completed the answer. So, if you see the terrorist attack done in the full world, average, in the last 10 years, every year only 19,000 people are being killed. In some years only 11,000, some years 31,000. In the last 15 years, average 19,000. According to WHO, by drinking alcohol, every year 2.6 million people are dying.
So what has that got to do with the question that has been asked?
Every year how much? 2.6 million people are dying. Of terrorist attack, how many? 19,000. Where is 19,000? Where is 2.6 million? Do you find in the media alcohol should be banned? Do you find?
So does that mean that terrorism should be tolerated because it kills few people?
If they want to stop human beings from dying, ban alcohol, so easy. Right or wrong? Allah says in Surah Ma'idah chapter number 5 verse number 90, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, oh you believe, innamal khamru wal maisuru, most certainly intoxicating and gambling, wal azlamu, dedication of stone, divination of arrows, rijsum min amali shaitan, these are Satan's handiwork. Fashtanibu lakum tuflihun. Abstain from this handiwork that we prosper. Simple solution. They only want to misguide the people. They want to sell their arms. Muslim terrorists, full media, Muslim terrorists. Let's take care of terrorists. Ban alcohol. Where is 2.6 million? Where is 19,000? How many times more? How many times more? Calculate. 2.6 million divided by 19,000.
The other problem with that example is that the people that die from alcohol, they decide to drink alcohol. Basically, they are killing themselves. No one is going there to kill them. But terrorism goes to kill innocent people. That's a very flawed logic, Zak.
By smoking, every year, according to WHO, statistics of 2023, every year, more than 8 million people are dying only because of smoking, out of which 1.3 million are passive smokers. They don't smoke, but because their husbands or their brothers or their fathers are smoking, passive smokers. 8 million. Which is the bigger problem for humanity, terrorism or smoking?
Notice what has just happened. The question was not whether non-Muslims commit violence. The question was why Islamic groups repeatedly justify their action using Islamic language, Islamic texts, and Islamic concepts. But instead of Naik directly addressing the issue, the conversation immediately shifts towards media bias, alcohol death, smoking statistics, and non-Muslim violence. This is called a deflection, not answering the core issue, but burying it under comparisons. I am going to prove to you that this is exactly what Zakir Naik did, using his own words and actions. But first, let's address immediate issues. And the tension only escalates from here, because next, Zakir Naik makes arguments that many viewers considered even more controversial. But what if the real controversy was not just what Zakir Naik said about ISIS, but who he blamed instead? Rather than confronting ideological roots extremists themselves claim to follow, Naik argues outside forces that manipulate, fund, and weaponize terrorism in the name of Islam. But this creates a deeper problem. If ISIS is completely un-Islamic, why do they constantly appeal to Islamic scripture, Islamic history, and Islamic authority? This is where the debate moves from uncomfortable to explosive. Here is the clip.
If you had seen my video before, you'd have never asked this question. I tell the people, why you are repeating in the Muslim media? Why is the Muslim man coming in the microphone? Millions are hearing all over the world that ISIS is killing innocent people. Who's to blame? You. Their job is to attack Islam. So what they do, they pick up some black sheep of a community and they brainwash them and they give them money and they say in the name of Islam, kill. They are killing, okay, they are bad. Why are you? Why are you repeating it? Do you understand, brothers? Yes or no? We repeating ISIS, we are promoting them. What you should say? ISIS. Anti-Islamic state of Iraq and Syria. Have you understood? Are you with me? So tomorrow will you repeat that ISIS killed? No. We will say anti-Islamic state of Iraq and Syria killed innocent people.
The question I didn't even want to respond because Zakir Naik has monopolized the discussion. He can ask him questions. When he tries to respond, he stops him from doing that.
What we are doing, we are playing into the hands of the non-Muslims. They are creating all these in the name of Islam.
So finally, he concedes.
And small numbers. And many a time, these non-Muslims, they fund the Muslims. Many times in India, Non-Muslims, in the name of Muslims, are killing people. They are non-Muslims. So that Islam gets maligned. Do you understand? Even on the internet, you have many non-Muslims. They are called as cyber troopers. They are Hindus. What they do, they have got 15 mobiles, 15 accounts. In the name of Muslim, they go and talk against Islam as though Muslims are speaking against Islam. How do you know? He's a Hindu. His name is Abdullah, Muhammad, Zakir. You think it's a Muslim? So we have to be careful. We should not fall into the traps. And if we meet a Muslim who's actually not following the Quran and Sunnah, you do dawah with him. Islah. Islam means to improve, to repair. You have to talk to them. If you have in your area anyone who's not following the Quran or Sunnah, you have to go and tell him, speak to him, do Islah. So there are black sheep in a community. I'm not saying no, but the number is very small. The majority of the terrorist attacks are done by non-Muslims.
This sounds less like theological engagement and more like externalizing blame. Because the reality is this: groups like ISIS openly quote Islamic texts. They cite their hadiths. They invoke jihad. They appeal to classical interpretation. So the question here is this: who is actually correctly following the Islamic text? Zakir Naik or the extremist groups? Simply renaming them anti-Islamic state does not explain why their actions are religiously justified. And then comes the moment that shocked the viewers the most. It was the moment the questioner himself became a target. Instead of being praised for asking difficult questions, he was accused of supporting the enemies of Islam. Now, this is the point which I mentioned at the beginning. Instead of Zakir Naik condemning Islamic terrorists, he seemed to be supporting it. He even says, we are foolish. This is the turning point. The original questioner was not attacking Islam. He was a Muslim asking why terrorism keeps emerging in Islamic texts. Yet the response gradually shifts from defending Islam to rebuking the questioner himself. And what happened next exposed the tension at the heart of the entire debate.
If you had seen my video before, you'd have never asked this question. I tell the people, why you are repeating in the Muslim media? Why is the Muslim man coming in the microphone? Millions are hearing all over the world that ISIS is killing innocent people. Who's to blame? You.
True, but...
Wait. What but? Let me finish my answer. I'm giving you an answer, you should be shocked, but this is the problem. I'm giving him information that Muslims are not killing, he's saying, but he's so much impressed with the media. MashaAllah. Let me complete the answer. Let me complete the answer. Let me complete the answer. You don't understand English?
I do.
Yes, but let me complete the answer. I have not completed the answer. Now, when I say ISIS killed, that means I am maligning Islam, right or wrong? Every non-Muslim, this Islamic state problem, Islamic problem. You repeating it is a problem. You repeating the question is a problem. You are helping the kuffar. You are helping the enemies of Islam to malign Islam. If there is a person who is an imposter and calls himself the president of USA, and he comes to you and gives you the interview, will you say, I interviewed the president of USA? Will you say that? No. You will say there was a fake person who was calling him the president of USA and he gave me an interview. Correct? Same way, you have to not say, we in Muslim media say, oh, ISIS killed innocent people. I never say that. I say anti-ISIS, anti-Islamic state of Iraq and Syria killed 20 innocent people.
What about Boko Haram and Al-Shabaab?
What we are doing, we are playing into the hands of the non-Muslims. They are creating all these in the name of Islam. And we Muslims, instead of getting sawab, Allah says, Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. Invite people to the good and enjoin them towards the good and tell them to go away from wrong. We are supporting wrong people, ISIS. We are promoting them. Do you understand? So we foolish people, when we ask on the microphone, in front of millions of people, ISIS killing innocent people, what to say, Dr. Zakir Naik? Why are you calling them ISIS? We should call them anti-Islamic state of Iraq and Syria. Do you understand?
This creates a dangerous atmosphere where raising questions about Islamic terrorism becomes framed as betrayal. And once a question becomes taboo, meaningful reform becomes almost impossible. Now comes the deeper theological issue beneath the entire debate. Does Orthodox Christianity offer a fundamentally different framework regarding violence, salvation, and religious authority? Now, from Orthodox Christian perspective, when we say Orthodox, we don't mean the Orthodox Church. Orthodox Christianity is talking about the real apostolic or early church Christianity. So from Orthodox Christian perspective, the central question is not merely whether extremist groups misuse religion, but whether foundational teachings of faith consistently point away from violence and coercion. Christianity presents Jesus Christ as a central figure who rebuked violence, commanded love for enemies, and advanced a kingdom through truth and sacrifice rather than force. Christianity historically confronted heresy through open theological examination rather than suppressing difficult questions, and the Bible consistently portrays truth as something that can withstand scrutiny. The deeper question raised by this debate, therefore, is whether difficult internal questions are being answered honestly or redirected in ways that protect religious image more than theological clarity. Let's go back to the moment that started the entire debate. What about ISIS? It was not a hostile question. It was a question many Muslims wrestle with quietly. But instead of direct engagement, the discussion became about media conspiracies, statistics on alcohol and smoking, accusation against the questioner himself. And that's why this debate still resonates. Because beneath the shouting, beneath the tension, lies a deeper issue. Can difficult theological issues be confronted honestly, or must they always be redirected somewhere else? I hope you've enjoyed this debate, and if you have, let me hear from you of what you think about Naik's response to this question. Did he address it? Did he avoid it? Did he redirect it? And if you want more breakdowns like this, that examine theology, ideology, and arguments that shape global debates today, make sure you like, subscribe, and smash the notification bell so that you don't miss the next breakdown. And also, please share this video. If you found this interesting, check out another video on your screen about another questioner who asked about terrorism. You'll be shocked what the question was about, and even more shocked how Naik responded to that question.